In this video, I'm going to show you how to hire your first or next employee for your business. I'm going to walk you through my full hiring plan that I use with my clients. And if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Nicole Case, a former corporate HR leader turned CEO coach and team advisor for women entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners so you can get out of the weeds, lead your team, and scale your business with more freedom and ease. The first step in hiring is to get super crystal clear about what you're hiring for. You know you are doing things that someone else could easily be doing, or maybe you're doing things in your business for so long that you haven't stopped to consider if you might need to even do it anymore or in the same way. So, the first thing that you're going to do is do a task audit. This is more comprehensive than just a time audit. I actually linked my own task audit tracker in the comments if you want something quickly you can use. And again, this is something that I share with my own clients. But what this audit is doing is showing you not only where you're spending your time, but it also shows you the impact that it's making in your business. So I had a client who did this exercise as one of the first things we did together, and she had over 83 items on her list. So, yeah, lots of opportunities to delegate and hire and support. Once you get all of that out of your head, you can clearly see what lends itself easily to either be delegated to somebody on your team and what role you might need to hire next. So, group all of those tasks together that make sense to create a role with a clear purpose and outcome for the business, not just a dumping ground of unrelated tasks, because no one wants to do a job that's just a bunch of crap you don't want to do. Step two, you're going to write a job description. Now that you have your list of tasks that you want to start delegating to your new hire, you can start on the job description. You're going to expand on that task list that you just created. And we want to think about what is the purpose of the job? Why does it exist? How is it going to meaningfully impact the business? So if we look at each of those tasks, list out what is the outcome of those tasks. So for example, for a marketing manager role, what are they managing? Are they managing your social channels? For what purpose? Is it to get more qualified leads? Is it to make direct sales? Is it to get more podcast downloads? This is just like marketing. The clearer you are in the job description, the easier it will be for you to find the right candidate and right hire quickly, just like you would with a client. And people want to know the bigger role that they're playing in the work and in your business. People don't want to feel like they're just getting dumped a bunch of busy work, and you don't want to be paying for someone just to do busy work. Step three in the hiring process is to write a success profile. So, this is taking your job description and expanding it to clarify what are the characteristics for someone to be successful in this role. So, what are those behaviors, those attributes that you want to see? Some examples could be flexible or autonomous and independent. But if you're going to plan on giving this role some very specific and step by step guidelines, then maybe what you're really looking for is someone with attention to detail and somebody that thrives in structure. This will really help you find the right fit for your business at this time. And you might get thousands of applications for your job or have a host of contractors to choose from. And being clear about who will be successful in this role will help you make that decision faster. Also, what's that experience and background do you want this person to have? I had a conversation with a client about hiring somebody just the other week, and we talked about the benefits of hiring somebody with less experience, but the drive and aptitude to learn versus really deep industry experience so that they can really hit the ground running. My client found that the people who were the most successful in that role in her business right now were ones with actually less experience and the desire to learn and grow, where those with a lot of experience really struggled to adapt to the way they did things in her business and got really frustrated. Both types of people are going to require onboarding, which is a different video, and they're going to need time to ramp up again, no matter how much experience they come with. But there's also a cost difference in that talent. But we want to be really clear about that type of person now on the front end of your hiring process. So you're not wasting a bunch of time weeding through all kinds of applications or interviewing people that just aren't the right fit. The fourth step in this process is to actually advertise the job. Now that you have a clear job description and success profile, now you have to figure out how to go find that right talent. Again, just like going and finding clients. But the best way and the fastest way to find the right person for your job is usually through referrals. Start reaching out to your network to see if they know anyone that would be a great fit. Again, you've already got this super crystal clear job description and success profile that you can share with your network, so they know exactly what you're looking for. You can also use marketplaces like Fiverr and Upwork, but I find those are best for more one-off or smaller projects. I personally recommend using LinkedIn to post positions. There are over a billion users there, and most are actively looking for opportunities on that platform. Now that you have all these amazing candidates flooding your inbox, you now need to determine what is the interview process going to look like. So, step 5 is the interview process. How many stages are you going to have? Who all needs to be involved? I typically recommend a simple 3-stage interview process that looks like this: a quick 20-minute phone screen. To me, this is the initial vibe check. Confirm that they have the experience and the attitude that you're looking for. And the outcome here is really just to decide if you want to bring them in for more interviews. That's all we're looking for. Next is a 45-minute interview with you or whoever they're going to be directly reporting to and taking daily direction from. The outcome here is to narrow the candidate pool again to decide who's going to come in for those final rounds. And that final round is a 45-minute interview with another person on your team, someone that they're either going to be a peer to or that they're going to collaborate with often. This could also be a panel interview if you have a larger team or multiple stakeholders for them to work with, but no more than 3 people on the panel. You don't want your candidates to feel like they're getting ganged up on. It's important to include any other team members that you have in this interview process because they're going to be working side by side with this person too. And they're going to have some really great insights on if they might be the right fit for the team too. Of course, if you don't have anybody else on your team, then you can skip this part. Make sure you're letting those people who are also doing interviews here that they know what the process is, that they know what their role in this is going to be and what it is that you want them to look for. Give them a copy of the job description and the success profile and the resumes of each of the candidates that they're going to be interviewing. So that's a simple 3-step process. Now, depending on the role, you might add some additional elements to the interview process, like maybe having them submit a portfolio of work or even maybe do a sample project, but make sure you pay them for that. Once you decide on what the process is going to look like, then you can create your interview questions. You don't want to wing this part because you won't get the information you need in order to make an informed decisions. So you have to make sure you have planned interview questions to use. Go back to that job description and success profile you created, and you can build your questions based off of what skills and behaviors you're going to value most in this role. Structure the questions to encourage real life storytelling so that they can describe something that they've actually done in a job in the past, because that past performance will likely inform how their future performance will be. Some examples could be: tell me about a time when you had to solve a tough customer issue quickly, or tell me about a time when you streamlined a process, or tell me about a time when you were managing a project that was going off the rails. Again, structuring your questions in this tell me about a time way will encourage your candidates to actually tell you what they have done previously. And it will also help you weed through if somebody's BSing. Now, you might decide to ask some situational questions as well, especially if the person you're interviewing hasn't done this exact job before or in your industry, but has really great transferable skills. So, for instance, we use Kajabi as the main backend of our business. I know you've not used it before, so how would you quickly come up to speed with it in order to make landing pages and email copy? Create a bank of your most effective interview questions so you can quickly pull them down when you need them. Drop in the chat some of your favorite interview questions so we can all start building our own interview question bank. Now, I always get this question about how many people should you be interviewing? Well, that really depends on the role, but after you do some first round screening, I generally don't recommend bringing in more than 5 people for the other major parts of the interview process. Interviewing is a big time commitment both for the candidate and for you and anyone else on the team that's helping you interview. That said, if you don't have a lot of experience interviewing people, you may find it better to put in those reps and do more phone screens at first than what you would likely do later on once you get more comfortable with it. But there is a difference between continuing to interview people even after you found some great candidates just because you want more options. More options are not going to help you here. All that's going to do is make you doubt your ability to make a really important decision and delay the process. Which leads me into step 6 of the hiring process, which is to decide who to hire. This is a whole exercise in trusting yourself as the CEO to make the best decision with the information you have. The reality is, no matter how many interviews you put someone through, you will never know if they're going to be the right person until they start working for you. And all the things that we talked about before, like getting clear on the role and its purpose, creating a complete job description and success profile, and having a strategic interview process will definitely help you make that decision even faster. Once you get everyone you want to speak to through the interview process, you need to make this decision swiftly. Taking weeks or even several days will not make it clearer to you or even give you more information. What it's going to do is risk losing out on your top candidate and likely confusing you in the process. I had a friend recently who got 1,200 applications for their social media manager role. They interviewed a bunch of people, but then their top candidate declined their offer. And so when they went back to their second choice, they had already accepted another position somewhere else. Then the third choice quit in their first week. So now 3 months have passed and they are back to square one. So we don't want to rush this decision, but we also don't want to put unnecessary delays in either. If you're in a season of hiring, this should be your number one priority as a CEO. Which leads me into the final step of the hiring process, which is to make the actual offer. So there's a couple things you need to have in place before you do this. You need to know what their hiring status is, which is, are they going to be a 1099 contractor or a W-2 employee? You're going to want to check with your accountant on this one. And I promise you, you do not want to get this wrong because the IRS will come a knocking. Ask me how I know. You're also going to want to know what their compensation is that you're going to offer them. This includes base pay, any commissions, or bonuses that they might be eligible for. Also, any benefits information if you're offering that to your W-2 employees. You'll want to work with your attorney to craft a simple offer letter template that outlines all of this, and then you can reuse it. Again, don't go at this alone. Make sure your accountant and your attorney is helping you with these parts. So once you have all those things in place, you're ready to reach out to make the actual offer. So reach out to that person as soon as possible for a live call so you can share with them the good news. Don't pressure them to respond right there over the phone. It's reasonable to send them the offer letter after your conversation so they can review it and get back to you. But no more than a few days, a week max. Don't be surprised if they try to negotiate with you. This is normal, especially in North America. But that isn't permission to just lowball people expecting them to come back and negotiate. Go in with a strong offer to show that you respect this person's time and expertise. I actually hesitated to include this step in the hiring video because this is really the first step in the onboarding process, which is the next video in this series. Throughout this whole hiring process, you are setting the tone about how you and this person are going to work together, what the culture is, and what they can expect from you as their boss. You want to start this relationship out on the right foot. Not only are you making a big decision about bringing someone into your company, this person is making a decision about their livelihood and if they can trust you to deliver on that. So, how long should this whole process take? Well, research done by Burson in 2023 showed that the average time to fill was 44 days. And I want you to either meet or beat that number. So, 2 weeks for the job to be posted, 1 week for phone screens, 1 week for a panel or a mini project, 1 week for final interviews, and 1 week to make the offer and have it accepted. So that's it. That's the whole hiring process. If you enjoyed this video, check out the description below for all my free resources and my upcoming free live masterclass. And I'll see you in the next video.